Do you want to see how I created this beachy geode? Beach in the middle with a mirror. Sorry of all the reflections in the background. And sea glass and shells. So come join me. Let's get on this adventure together. I am going to do a geode today, which is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be it's a geode shape, but it's going to be very, very beachy. I've done background painting. I've masked the back, and once it's all finished, I'll paint the back. So let me stand it on my cups. I've got those beautiful Molly suggested stands, but I don't want to get resin on those. And then what my plan is around the outside, instead of what I would do crystals, I'm going to put these gorgeous big white shells all the way around. I've got this whole box of beautiful shells. So that will be on the second layer. And for the second layer, I did buy some new new resin called, it's a fast set resin. It's something called Liquidy Split or something like that. But when we come to do the second layer, I will show you. And then I have a mirror here, which is still wrapped up, which I'm going to put behind the hole in the middle. But first of all, I've mixed my resin. This is KS resin. I am going to have 4 colors. I'm using Naked Fusions, Pearlex, Luxe Pearl powders because they're really glistening. I'm using Ghost Blue, which is kind of like white. I'm going to put that around the edge because that'll be under the shells. And Tropical Sea and Ocean and Blue Mist, which will go right near the center. But the other thing I'm going to do is, once all the resin has dried, I am going to put a little bit of sand around the centerpiece here. And I got these gorgeous sea glass shapes that I'm probably gonna take a hammer to like crush a little bit and stand some up, lay some down, and then in between maybe put a few tiny shells, or I've got some more blue crystals. So I'm gonna get ahead and mix my resin colors, and then we'll be back and pour the first layer of resin. All the resin is mixed with their beautiful pigment luxe powders that give off the most gorgeous sheen. I've checked the board and my geode, and it's completely level everywhere. By the way, I made this board. I bought some plywood from, the Do It Center, and I then took my jigsaw. I'd just drawn kind of a rough shape, took my jigsaw and cut it out myself, and then sort of sanded the sides to make it smooth. There's a bit crispy area here, which I'm not worried about because, as I said, I'm going to put some sand, but by the time I've got several coats of resin down, you won't even see that. So I'm going to begin in the middle, and I expect a lot of this will just run off. Then what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use a lot of resin right now. I'm going to try and keep half of each in each cup, because then I'm going to let it set up a bit and then do it all again, which I'll just do off camera. So this geode is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to do any harsh lines because it's like a fun shaped ocean painting, really, in the form of a geode. And I don't need to go right up to the edge because this is going to be, and I am going to blend the colors together because this is going to be kind of sand. Okay, so that's it for this part of the video because I'm going to wait at least half an hour for this resin to start to set up and then go over it again and then blend it a little bit with my fingers. And then tomorrow we'll apply the quick set resin and put the shells on. Okay, now it is day 2, although I've been out all day, and I really hope this video works because I've been having problems with my phone and you won't even see it. You might notice a few discords in the editing, but the whole thing videoed in slow motion, which was a nightmare. Anyway, so I wanted to show you my new resin, which is, it's still KS resin, but it's called Liquidy Split epoxy. And it's a fast drying resin and it's 1:1 mixing ratio. So you still have your hardener and your resin. The resin is down here. Love KS resin. Never had problems with it. What I did notice was when I was mixing it, and just a tip, you should always add the resin to the hardener, not the other way around. It just works better. I did notice that the resin was much thicker, so that's probably why it's faster setting. I've got my sea glass pieces, which I'm going to put down. I've got my sandy glue mixture ready, and people always ask me, why don't you just mix the sand with resin? Occasionally I do that, but once the glue dries, you're just left with the sand and it feels more like sand. Whereas if you mix it with resin, it still has this kind of wet look to it. And I just prefer like the sandy look. These resin brushes, I wanted to show you why I use them. They're on my Amazon page. There's a link below. And this is why I use them. They literally, you can spread the resin with them and they literally peel off. They're so smart. Easy peasy. The other thing I decided, I did remask the back because, oh, hello, what are you doing? I had lots of drips, and the longer you leave drips on, the harder it is to get them off. So I decided to get the first layer of drips on and remask it. I lightly sanded the geode. I've mixed my resin. It should set in about 3 hours. And I was going to add the same colors again, but I've decided that I'm just going to do a clear coat on top and add the shells. I've got my spirit level here. Double check. Everything is fine and dandy. And now I'm just, oh, it's getting warm already. Wow. Because I need my shells to stick into the resin. Wow, this really heated up quickly. Ooh. Okay. There's my little resin brush. Ooh, this really, really sets up fast. Not worried about going to the middle because I'm going to put sand there, but wow, wow, wow. This is like magic. Oh my goodness. And I was on the phone to my daughter, so I probably was sitting. Well, I didn't mind it sitting because I wanted some bubbles to pop. But oh my goodness. Let's get some more on the edge here. Ooh, boiling hot. Right. Wow. I'm amazed. I've got 2 sets of gloves on. I'm going to take 1 set off. I am... See, that's setting up already. I'm going to use my torch. If I can find it. Here we go. Pop any bubbles. Don't want the shells to have any resin on them. I want them, oh my God, this is like, this is a miracle. I don't know if you can even see how quickly this is setting up. Look, it's set. Okay, I've got to get to work and put my shells on. I mean, it's not going to set up that quickly. Not in time for me not to get my shells on. It'll be fine. Okay, all the shells are in place. Oh my goodness. I love this resin, but boy, oh boy, do you have to work fast. Okay, so now I have my sand mixture. I mean, this is set already. Like these shells, it's done. It's amazing. I don't know if I'd use it for like a regular layer, but as a top coat, oh my gosh, game changer. Right, so now my beach, I've got more time to work with the beach. And if I need to mix, oh, see, I don't want to do that. Jules, what are you doing? If I've got to mix more, I can mix more. I always seem to be able to do this better by hand, the sand. But anyway, I'm just going to put my little rough beach down. My beach is down and my shells. I'm just loving, oh my God, this resin. Oh my God, I can't tell you how amazed I am. Well, I probably have too many times, but anyway, it's fantastic. So now I have this lovely sea glass. I'm not too worried about the edges in here. Remember, I'm going to put a mirror at the back, and I'm going to attach the mirror with resin.
because once all the sand's dry and I've taken the masking tape off the back, I'll just put a tiny bit of resin like on the back and then just like blob the mirror on top of it. There's a bubble in my sand. Oh, that'll pop. Anyway, so now I'm going to put my sea glass on, and I want it to be kind of higgledy-piggledy, not in any kind of neat, tidy order. I want it to be all kind of rough and ready. Some can lay down. And some can stand up. And if they flop and fall, I don't really care. It's just different. That's what it's all about. Unique art. Ooh, there's a cute little spot there. I'm going to add some... Now, you see, I could be cliche and put teeny weeny shells around the middle. But I also want it to represent a geode. I do that? Will that stay up? Probably not. It might fall. Yeah, it's going to fall. Timber. There she blows. Yeah, I do want it to still represent geode-ish, which is why I have these crystals. And I'm going to put a few of these little glass crystals around the edge on the beach. I think I might get a couple of tiny weeny shells. See, now I'm combining all my favorite things. Geodes, resin, beach, everything. All in one lump. Okay. And then I've got some green ones. So there's some few greenish ones. I could just press those down with my fingers. Make sure they stick in the sand. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I don't even know if I'll put shells. Maybe I'll just put a couple. Get off my resin. And my teeny weeny shells. Trying to pick, well, I don't mind if they're not white. It's in the detail. It's all in the detail, peeps. Oh, that'll flatten. And the other thing that I do sometimes is, so this sand's too wet, but what you can do, and I'm just going to let it dry the way it wants. Like just before it really dries, you can take some, actually it might even work now, I'm not even sure, it might do. Some regular sand, like a pinch of sand, and add it to the top. And it will kind of just create more texture. But I don't want it to go, I need to find a brush now, really soft brush. Because I don't want it sticking to my resin. Just brush that off. I can't blow it because I'll end up blowing all the sand that I've just sprinkled on. That's not going to stick. The resin's practically set. Yeah, so you can take that and just pat that down, and that'll stay and add a little bit more texture. It's finished. I'm gonna bring you in for some detail. There's the mirror. I'm not gonna show you me with TV in the background. Watching Below Deck. Gorgeous, gorgeous cells. See the resin? How it just like, I don't know, it creates this whole dimension and brings up its own like tiny weeny cells. It's gorgeous. And there's the beach with its sea glass. And then I'm really glad that I put those tiny weeny shells in. And here are the big shells around the outside. Love this piece. It's so, so gorgeous. Anyway, so let me stand back. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.